The world sees the rockets, the cars, the billions. They see a performance I've been giving my entire life, but what they don't see is the man whose mind is a storm, constantly convinced it's all about to collapse. What if you achieved everything you ever wanted? What if you became one of the richest people on the planet? This isn't a hypothetical question. It's the stark reality described by Elon Musk. He stands at the pinnacle of global success, the mind behind Tesla and SpaceX, a man who literally shoots for the stars. He speaks of a profound hollowness that wealth can't fill, a loneliness that echoes in the vast spaces between achievements. This is the story of the dark side of success. It's the story of why the world's most successful man believes true happiness isn't bought but built, and the blueprint he offers might just change how you define success in your own life. To understand the darkness, you first have to appreciate the blinding light of his success. Elon Musk isn't just wealthy. He operates on a scale that redefines the very concept of financial power. His companies aren't just businesses. They are civilization-level projects. Tesla didn't just make an electric car. It forced the entire automotive industry into an electric revolution. SpaceX didn't just launch a rocket. It broke the stranglehold of governments on space exploration, is actively planning for the colonization of Mars. The numbers are staggering, almost nonsensical. A net worth that fluctuates in the hundreds of billions, a fortune so vast it could alter the economies of small nations. He oversees a sprawling empire of innovation, from brain-computer interfaces with Neuralink to revolutionizing urban transport with the Boring Company. He is, by every worldly metric, winner in the game of life. He has the influence, the access to jets, power to turn a single tweet into a global headline. He has achieved the dream that fuels our modern world, the idea that with enough money, you can solve any problem, buy any experience, insulate yourself from the harsh realities of life. But what happens when the dream comes true and the feeling you expected isn't there? Musk describes reaching unbelievable financial milestones. The sale of PayPal, which netted him over $100 million, feeling a startling lack of emotion. He describes it as climbing an enormous mountain only to find nothing at the top. The grand vista of wealth was just empty, hollow. In his own words, money only solves money problems. It eliminates the stress of paying rent, of affording groceries, of unexpected bills. That's undeniably valuable. But once that baseline of security is met, the happiness curve flattens dramatically. This isn't just a billionaire's lament. It's a well-documented psychological phenomenon. Studies have consistently shown that after a certain income threshold, enough to live without constant financial anxiety, more money has diminishing returns on day-to-day happiness. This is the hedonic treadmill. We adapt to our new circumstances, and the baseline for what feels normal simply shifts. The luxury car becomes just the car. The mansion becomes just the house. Musk is a living embodiment of this principle. While he has access to luxuries, he's known for sleeping in the factory, for being so consumed by the problems he's trying to solve that the trappings of wealth are secondary. He has publicly sold most of his real estate, stating he prefers to rent or stay with friends, a stark admission that all the money in the world can't buy genuine human connection or cure loneliness. So what kept him going? If the billions felt hollow and the achievements empty, what force could possibly compel a person to endure the relentless stress, the public scrutiny, and the soul-crushing failures that define his career? The answer lies in a fundamental shift in motivation. The turning point wasn't a success. It was a series of catastrophic failures that nearly wiped him out. It was in the crucible of near bankruptcy and exploding rockets that he discovered what truly mattered. To understand Musk, you have to understand the story of early SpaceX. After using his PayPal fortune to start the company in 2002, the goal was audacious, almost laughable to the aerospace establishment: to build reusable rockets and make humanity a multi-planetary species. He wasn't just building a company, he was trying to build an ark. He poured everything he had into it. Then came the launches. First Falcon 1 launch in 2006 ended in a fireball just seconds after liftoff. A fuel line leak, a complete loss. The dream went up in smoke over the Pacific. 1 year later, the second launch. The rocket soared higher this time, reaching the edge of space before an oscillation caused the second stage to spin out of control. Failure. Another rocket, another payload, and millions more dollars turned to debris. The press was brutal. The experts were smug. Everyone expected SpaceX to fail. The company was in shambles. Musk recalls 2008 as the worst year of my life. He was facing financial ruin, having poured his last personal dollars into both Tesla and SpaceX just to keep them alive. He was getting divorced. The media had written him off as a spectacular failure. This was the dark side. This was the bottom. This was the moment most people would quit. It was never about the money. It was about the mission. The pain of watching his fortune evaporate was nothing compared to the pain of giving up on the possibility of a multi-planetary future. The fear of personal bankruptcy paled in comparison to the fear of humanity remaining tethered to one fragile planet. This is the core insight. The hollowness he felt after the PayPal sale was the feeling of success without meaning. The devastating pain of the SpaceX failures was the feeling of a meaningful mission in jeopardy. And that pain was preferable. It was real. It mattered. But this time, it kept going. Stage separation, clean. Second stage ignition, perfect. And then, the words that changed everything. Falcon 1 has reached orbit. Musk was overwhelmed. He couldn't speak. This moment of success felt different from the hollow victory of a financial windfall. Why? Because it wasn't about him. It wasn't about getting rich. It was the moment a necessary, almost impossible goal was proven possible. So how do you actually build a life of purpose? For Musk, the answer isn't found in self-help books or motivational seminars. It's found in physics, specifically in a mental model he uses to deconstruct the world. First principles thinking is the practice of boiling things down to their most fundamental truths and reasoning up from there, instead of reasoning by analogy. Reasoning by analogy is what most of us do most of the time. We see what others are doing. We copy it with slight variations. This is why so many people end up chasing the same definition of success: the big house, fancy car, the high-paying job, because they are copying what society tells them a successful life looks like. Musk rejects this. This way of thinking is the key to his philosophy of fulfillment. Instead of asking, what will make me happy, which leads to answers like money and leisure, he asks, what are the fundamental problems that need to be solved for humanity to have a better future? This question leads to first principle goals: accelerating the transition to sustainable energy, making humanity multi-planetary, ensuring AI is developed safely. His life's work is the answer to that question. This reframes the entire concept of happiness. It stops being something you chase directly and becomes the feeling you get from making progress on a problem that matters. Happiness is the emotional feedback loop that tells you you're on the right path. It's not about feeling good all the time. In fact, Musk's path is defined by immense stress and struggle. It's about feeling like your struggle matters. It's the profound satisfaction that comes from solving hard problems. This isn't a path exclusive to billionaires. Principle is universal. It's the difference between working for a paycheck, working on a problem you care about. Your purpose doesn't have to be as grand as colonizing Mars. It could be raising kind and courageous children. It could be building a small business that solves a genuine problem in your community. It could be creating art that makes people feel something. Scale doesn't matter. What matters is that the goal feels necessary to you, providing a why that is strong enough to endure any how. The story of Elon Musk is the ultimate cautionary tale about chasing success for its own sake. Reach the summit of the world's definition of success, only to find it barren and cold.